If you're struggling with the layout, the functionality of your mid-century kitchen, you're not alone. Nearly every mid-century kitchen has a floor plan that can be problematic for the way that a modern family likes to use the space. And here's what's wrong with your kitchen. Yeah, I can tell without looking. It was designed for just one person to use the space, and that person was mom. From a layout perspective, all of that means that in the classic mid-century kitchen, all of the workspaces face a wall, or maybe a window. When all the workspaces face away from the center of the room, you always have your back to anyone else you're in the room with. If two adults are trying to work in the kitchen at the same time, it probably means that they're bumping hips with each other, running into each other, or getting in each other's way as they try to go through the tasks of prepping and cooking food. If this sounds familiar, it's not a problem between you and your partner, it's a problem with the kitchen. This doesn't necessarily mean you need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You do not need to tear out your mid-century kitchen and start from scratch if it's mostly working for you or if you like many things about it. We might be talking about a few tweaks here rather than a big transformation. But if all of the workspaces in your kitchen face a wall, we do need to do something about that condition. So how do you fix a mid-century kitchen? Well, the first question to ask is, do you need to fix it? There are still some households where one person goes into the kitchen, produces the food as a passion project, as a loving thing, as just their role in the household, and they want to be left alone in that space to get the job done. For them, a single cook kitchen is perfect. By the way, that person these days is not always mom. I've worked with a number of clients who have a single cook in the household, and they find that a mid-century kitchen layout works for them perfectly. We often address their kitchens more because of maintenance, of breakdown of materials, or because things have been shabby, or because of a previous horrible remodel that stripped and flipped the charm right out of the house, and not because the layout isn't working for them. If you do want to fit multiple adult cooks into the kitchen, or just have a place to socialize with the whole family while cooking is going on, we need to make a few changes to the kitchen. There's still not a one-size-fits-all solution, though. If you are looking to have a clear definition between cooking space and eating space, but this works particularly well for families with small kids, you might benefit from a U shape that has a peninsula that separates an eat-in area from a cooking area. This design helps prevent kids from being underfoot. It helps create a clear separation of sort of a working, eating, homework, project area, and a food prep, wet things, cooking things, food safety area. For other people who are trying to encourage members of the household to flow around, maybe trying to get kids involved in cooking, particularly when there's more than one adult cooking in the process, it can be more effective to have an elongated island that extends into the eat-in area, for example, rather than to have it cut off by a peninsula. If you don't have that much room in your budget or that much desire to change everything about your kitchen, you can fix one major problem of a mid-century kitchen with a tiny furniture solution. Any kitchen that's got an L-shaped layout can work this way, or if you have a U that has at least 7 feet between one side of base cabinets and the other, that's the cabinets, not the walls, you can probably fit in a tiny furniture island. 2 foot by 2 foot, 20 inches by 20 inches, maybe 2 foot by 4 foot. This is the solution I have in my mid-century kitchen, so I can keep my original vintage cabinets intact and still have functional sharing cooking space. Even a tiny freestanding butcher block island can solve two essential problems. The first one is that face inward space. Two adults can mix something, roll out pizza dough, look at each other across even a tiny furniture island. And also, it helps define lanes of traffic. When you have an L or a U of kitchen space, you're just as likely to walk across it to get anything you need, which is where you get that hip bump experience. When you have something in the middle of the space, walking around it becomes a more obvious choice, and you're much less likely to have collisions with other people in the kitchen if you've got something directing lanes of traffic in the middle. Another small tweak is even if you're preserving most of your mid-century kitchen, you might look for a place to take down upper wall cabinets. Possibly this is an opportunity to add an extra window for more daylight, more views, more natural light in the kitchen, and then replace that storage with one area of the kitchen that goes floor to ceiling of storage. Any mid-century kitchen layout improvement should take account of the following things. Effective lighting. You want to be able to shed light on your work surfaces. The classic mid-century kitchen lighting has a light over the sink, a light over the range, and one in the center of the ceiling, which causes you to make a shadow with your own head on the surface you're working on. Improving the lighting condition in a remodel is essential for loving the result. You're also going to want to work to make more functional workspaces. More flat surface, more area that doesn't have appliances or little mini appliances on it, more spaces, even just one where two people can face inward. Then you're going to improve handy storage. Think about maybe putting bulk storage around the corner down in a basement so you can maximize the amount of space you've got handy if you're working with a small space or a tweak remodel. If you're doing a bigger transformation, designating a pantry area is a big plus. Don't forget to make enticing places to hang out in your kitchen. A eat-in dining table, built-in bench, a place to put your feet up. Even a comfortable chair tucked into a dead-end corner can be a solution in a non-remodel, a tweak, rather transformation, layout improvement. Don't forget to infuse your remodel with mid-century style. Choose the right materials that tie back to your original house era. Get this part right and becomes the core of your style choices for the entire house. If you're craving a new and better layout to your tired kitchen, I would love to help you with that. Get started by grabbing the free guide linked below this video and we can go from there.